Hey there everybody, and welcome to my first impressions on Titanfall. Now you may be wondering why this first impressions is coming out much later than the original release date of Titanfall. Well, I, like about the other fan base of this game, decided not to opt in to the Xbox One or the PS4, so I decided just to keep my Xbox 360 and wait until April 8th to get this game, which was a story in and of itself because the pre-order date or the release date was set back and I had to go to GameStop 3 separate times, but I guess that's a story for another time. Anyways, this commentary today is about Titanfall and my thoughts on the game as a whole. Now, this gameplay is on the original campaign, playing as the IMC on the mission Assault on the Sentinel, which is the attrition game mode in this case. So my thoughts on the game overall, what I think of it as a whole, I really do enjoy this game, not because it's a very superior game to what else is on the market right now, just because it's a brand new game. I feel this is true, that I call this the Call of Duty logic, not because it's a fantastic game, but because it's something new and it's something that fills the void, not necessarily a first-person shooter, although Call of Duty and Titanfall are, but they just fill the void of a game gap, as I would call it in this case, seeing as though we're in between battlefields, we're in between Call of Duties, and this is just a little bit of a waiting time just to see when DLCs come out for Call of Duty and DLCs for Battlefield 4, and we're just in a little bit of an intermediate period where we just need a game to fill the void, and I feel Titanfall suited that gap very well, seeing as though it does have a kind of Halo-esque feel to it with the mechanical mechs, and the Titans are just a completely new way to think about first-person shooters as a whole in this type of genre. So as a whole, I find this game to be very fun and very, very fast-paced. With the way the Titanfall countdown system works, I believe it's about 2 minutes and 30 seconds from the spawn when you can get your Titan, unless you spawn in one. And then it just makes you think that the game needs to go faster than it normally would. So you can get the kills faster, so you can be the first to fall, and you can just get your Titan quicker than everybody else and start decimating the field. I feel as though that was one of the crucial thoughts behind the game as a whole, making it as fast-paced as possible. And the guns really do suit that, seeing as though the shotguns do seem to work very well in close quarters, and they are, from at least what I've seen, the ones that I've gotten to. This commentary was made when I was a level 9, and I've gotten a whole lot further than that at this point. So I've experimented with some guns, but at this point I was just using the stock class with the RC-101, or I believe it's the R101C. It's the very first assault rifle that you get, and I believe it's the first custom class. I don't know if I even really edited this alongside my Titan. I just think it was just the normal Titan, to be quite honest with you. I was yet to unlock most of the stuff, so I was more or less just playing along with it. But I thought that the game was very easy at first. I don't know if this was because I was playing near launch day with a lot of low levels on the campaign missions, where a lot of pros, I guess, as you would call them, were playing on normal classic mode, just playing all the different game modes. But I figured I'd try the campaign at first, not really knowing better, or not really knowing where else to go other than playing the tutorial. So I just thought, campaign, this will be enthralling. I'm sure this will be a very good campaign. And I just decided to play it overall, and I was very excited to play it. Now, I was a bit discouraged by the fact of how easy it was. I know that sounds very snide to say, oh, this game's too easy, I'm very good at this, you know. I'm not trying to say that, although that's exactly how I felt in a lot of these early commentaries. But when I got onto Classic and I was playing that, leveling up over the past few weekends, I was finding myself a bit more evenly matched, you know, having KDs that were not like 20-1 and so on. I was just having more decent games, like 20-5 type of games, stuff like that, where people were a lot more evenly matched, partially because a lot of people were higher levels than me, but still the playing field was leveled after these initial days playing, which I feel is very crucial in the game, seeing as though what your level is, what you have unlocked, can very heavily influence how you do in the game. That and your ability to hop on walls and such. If you're not very good at parkour, you won't be too hindered in this game, but if you do know how to hop around the map and do your double jumps and then do your reverb jumps off walls and the wall running and hanging in the corners and all, you will be much more suited for this game, and you'll be a whole lot better off when it comes to securing objectives, whether it be in hardpoint or attrition, where you're just sitting on a wall waiting for people to come through a doorway, as I've seen. I don't know if it's modeled in this commentary or though, but I have seen quite a few people doing that in hardpoint. I guess it is a legitimate tactic, air quotations needed, but I've seen people just sitting in doorways, hanging onto the roof, waiting for people to come in with their trip mines, satchel charges, and just waiting for people to come on in, which I guess is a bit of a bad way to play, if you want to call it that, but it's a legitimate tactic if you want to call it that. Anyways, people have been playing like that and I've seen it, but what do you expect? But this game does not have prone, surprisingly enough. No prone. There is crouching for both the Titan and the normal players, but there is no prone, which I feel was yet another strategic maneuver by developers to make the game feel more fast-paced and to keep people off the corners and more on the walls and on the floor. I guess on the walls is still the camping corner prone-esque feeling, as if there was a transfer over, but even so, this game has is a lot less camping than I would have originally expected, which is something I was waiting for. Now, as you just saw right there is no team phasing where you can phase through your teammates and you don't have to worry about running into your teammates. That's something that was used with the grunts. So the grunts that run around on the ground, you are able to phase through them. They don't get stuck in your way. They're not solid entities to a pilot. However, other pilots and other Titans to Titans are, which is something I guess is sort of flawed in a way, but it's also realistic if you'd like to call it that. That's just something that has always made me quite angry in other first-person shooters where a teammate will block a doorway or you'll be trapped in a corner, as the famous example in titles, and you will be stuck and you will not be able to move around, which is always a problem, I feel. But since the grunts do not slow you down, which would have been a very big hindrance, I feel as though the problem was half addressed, which is more than I've seen with other Call of Duties and other first-person shooters that are related to this. But overall, relating to the Titan's controls, I really love the way the Titan feels and the cool GUI in the Titan. You can still see the screens of glasses if you're looking through a camera of sorts, or you're looking through a glass wall, or it's just some sort of projected image. It gives a very good impression of that, and I really just love the way the Titans work, how the controls are seamless from running to Titan, and the weapons I feel are rather balanced with regards to other Titans. The 40mm cannon, I was not using it in this case, I had not unlocked it yet. I was using just the normal chain gun with the salvo rockets, but now that I use the Ogre tank, or the Ogre was a Titan with the what are those called? They're the linking missiles. I'm not sure what the technical terms are, but there's something along those lines where you're able to lock onto multiple targets in the 40mm cannon. I find that to be a very potent tool against other Titans and other pilots. Goodness gracious, if you come across a Titan, you better hope that you have yourself an anti-Titan weapon. I myself favor the grenades, the grenade launcher that is the magnetic grenades that stick onto Titans. I do in fact like that. You can just shoot it through a window where Titans would usually be shooting rockets in, being able to hit you if you had a rocket launcher. But now that you have magnetic grenades, I feel as though it's a much better way to fight Titans, and it just seems to keep me alive longer, which is something I cannot usually say when I'm around Titans. But overall, this game, the Titans, the controls, the way combat feels, and the fast-paced nature of the game makes me feel like this game will in fact have longevity, and it will maintain its fan base both on Xbox One as well as Xbox 360. I've seen quite a few people, and I've talked to them in-game and say, so you didn't buy an Xbox One either? And they said, nah man, I'm not going to waste money on that. And I said, I can hear that. I mean, $500 is quite a lot. But this commentary is not about bashing the Xbox One. It's about praising Titanfall for being a fantastic game that is definitely filled the void between Call of Duty and Battlefield periods, which is something that I have not been able to say in most other intermediate periods. But yes, this game overall, so far, fantastic, great start, and after this commentary, I'm sure my skills have definitely improved since then, playing more classic, not necessarily campaign. The difficulty has definitely leveled out, and I can say for a fact that this game will keep me enthralled for several more months at least. It may sound a bit, harmless at the moment, a couple more months, but months in terms of gaming, well, that can keep people enthralled for a good amount of time. But that's really all for this commentary, everybody. I hope you enjoy what I had to say, and I'll see you all very soon.